a masterpiece. Let's keep trying. This is how it looks from the inside. Oh my. Hey guys, and welcome to a new episode of Nomadic Dmitry channel. Today we're going to talk about iMac G4. What I'm doing right now is I'm cloning my hard drive, the internal hard drive right here, to a flash drive. And then what I'm gonna do, the idea that I have is I basically want to do this. I want to replace the internal hard drive of this one. The hard drive is really slow, so it's super hard to actually find the ID drive that it's new, and at the same time, like, what's even the point of finding the ID drive, right? For this reason, I decided to use this one. This is basically a way to use SD card right here. Like, there's an ID port, there's a power, and then we can plug just a typical SD card. I'm gonna use this one. By the way, this SD card here has much more memory than this hard drive has. This one has like 128 gigs, and this one just has 40 gigs. So I'm gonna replace it and just use this SD card. And the speed's gonna be, I think it's gonna be faster, but at the same time, well, we know that it's the limit of ID drive, right? So it's not gonna be super fast. Also, I'm gonna replace the internal CD drive, the combo drive that is installed here, because it doesn't work. I want to be actually able to use the CD drive for some reasons. For example, just like to be able to transfer the programs, the files easily here, because the USB port is super slow, and the FireWire, I don't want to use a FireWire port. So for this reason, I'm gonna use this one. I'm gonna plug my DVD drive that I have from the other computer. It's also gonna be converted, right? So it's from one side it's ID plus power, and on the other side there is like SATA drive. So I'm gonna just plug my SATA DVD drive right here. Is gonna, I hope it's gonna work fine. Yeah, so I basically want to disassemble this computer. Really nice machine that runs macOS 9, macOS 10 Tiger applications, and at the same time it's a compact package. So alright guys, let's actually proceed with disassembling. I mean, once it finished copying, of course. Alright, so it's time to disassemble this one. And we're gonna use, I think, this screwdriver T650, but I think it's not exactly the correct match, but like, who cares? Let's do this. So yeah, this is how it looks like. I mean, even this one is already like a masterpiece. This is the memory stick right here. I'm not even sure if I should remove this one or just leave it. Probably I'm just gonna leave it. And this is the Wi-Fi card, airport card, and it doesn't support anything modern, so like only old Wi-Fi networks. So you better use the Ethernet, which is located right here. Alright, so the next step is gonna be using this one, this screwdriver, T10H and 50, so let's see if it actually works here. It seems like it's working. Alright. I always had some problems finding the right screwdriver all the time. You feel like, no, it's not the one, I should use different one. This iMac seems to be quite simple to disassemble compared to like later iMacs, because it has the display completely separated, so you can work with this part and change some components without actually taking apart the display, which is cool. And I already had the video about disassembling iMac 2008, so yeah, seems to be simpler, but I mean, not sure yet. Alright, seems like I finally found the right screwdriver for this one, and let's see if it works. Let's see if I can take it apart now. So seems like I can. Okay. Oh wow, it looks so freaking dusty. So there is a memory unit right here. There's also a memory unit on that side. So okay, I think it's pretty clear now. It has two slots for memory, ID, and this is the, which one? This is the CD drive, and there is a hard drive right behind it. So yeah, I think it's pretty clear now what to do. This is how it looks from the inside. The best thing to do would be disconnect those cables and actually work with the hard drive and the CD DVD drive right here, but I don't really want to disconnect those cables, so I was like, maybe I should just leave those and work with this part for now. Probably I don't even need to touch that part much. And of course, the best way to remove dust is using your hands to completely destroy all the components. Oh my. Alright, so now I probably should be able to lift it. I just need to remove a couple more screws, probably somewhere behind here. Alright, so I'm just having troubles disconnecting this power cable right here. Come on. So just take a look at this mess. Computing became much more efficient nowadays, because just take a look at a huge CD/DVD drive and then a huge 3.5 hard drive, which is like even wrapped in some kind of shell. And then again we have a fan right here. You know guys, I was looking around to understand what this one is, and this one is actually a modem. This is a modem, because remember this is like 2003, 2004, and actually here it says Apple Computer 2001, probably like the board even like from 2001, I mean the whole concept I guess. And just take a look at this. This is a memory stick, which is like a regular PC memory stick of that time, and here's a laptop stick. So they actually combine laptop and the regular computer memories, which is quite interesting. This hard drive actually has an Apple logo right here, and it's about the same experience I had when disassembling the other iMacs. All those hard drive actually has the Apple logo there, which is like funny and interesting. Here's actually the tray for the CD-ROM. This is how it works. So it just pushes this one and then it opens, and it's like that. I think actually it's one of the reasons why this one doesn't work. It has some problems opening this thing right here. Alright, this is interesting, so I removed it from here. Here's the drive itself. This thing looks quite strange. You know guys, I was actually thinking why I would even need to install something here. Why I can't just like remove all the cables out, just like use it like external drives. I don't know. Of course it's like not gonna be like hot pluggable because it's the IDE drives, but still, like, why I'd even need this whole mess? I mean, I can just remove it all outside. I think it's actually a better idea to like remove it all out. Alright, so it looks a bit better now. I mean, still a bit dusty, but I mean it's better. It's gonna be dusty anyway, so so I'm just gonna plug the IDE cable right here, power cables right there. Yeah, I'm just gonna plug those together and let's just see how it works. Alright, so I've connected it all here. So I have a SD card connected to IDE cable, and I just assembled everything. Here's the iMac, and let's hope that it's actually gonna work. So let's go ahead and boot it up. Wow, it seems to be actually loading from the SD card. So it actually seems to be working. Let's see. From what I can see, it's much less noise right now, but it seems to be stuck or not. So let's see, let's just wait a few more minutes, I guess. And so guys, just to check, and I just attached the IDE driver like this, and it boots just fine as expected. So I don't know, I probably need to like repartition this SD card. I don't know why it doesn't work in this case, so I just need to figure out. Probably it's gonna boot just fine here, because at least it detects it. Alright, so I'm having some troubles loading this one into macOS 10. So for this reason, let's try something else. Let's try booting into the BIOS, which is called OpenFirmware on PowerPC machines. So let's boot into OpenFirmware, and then we're gonna specify the specific folder we're gonna boot from, because macOS 9 booting from system folder, right? So to go there, we need to press Command Option OF. Okay, so we are in OpenFirmware, and now we can type the commands, and this command is gonna be like this one: boot HD system. Once I press enter, it should theoretically boot into the macOS 9. This is like a ROM file specified right here, so system folder and macOS ROM. We're getting closer, but this is not exactly what I expect. Let's keep trying. So my next step will be to reset the PRAM. PRAM actually stores the values for the default boot disk to load and stuff like that. Maybe if I reset those values, it's gonna work. NVRAM, then set defaults, and then reset all. Well, that doesn't seem to help. One more update, guys. So as I said in the beginning of the video, I also have this converter from the IDE to SATA, and I have this SATA DVD drive right here, and I just checked. I was able to boot into macOS 9 installation, so it's definitely not a problem. At least I have macOS 9 installation. I will be able to basically, install macOS 9 if I want to. It's definitely all possible, and I have the second IDE cable somewhere right here. So if I want to, I will be able to plug both SD card and this one at the same time. After trying all that, I decided to create two partitions, one for OS 9 and one for OS 10 Tiger. I think this is the best solution because this is like a better layout than just having one disk for both OS 9 and OS 10. And take a look here. For OS 9 you need to have macOS extended without journaling, because journaling is only OS 10 feature. For OS 9 you don't need it. Okay, and I'm gonna install it from scratch, OS 9 and OS 10. I think it's gonna be good. Eventually I was able to install macOS 9 here, just on this SD card right here. I need to try actually to install macOS 10 Tiger. Seems to be it was easy to install macOS 9 on a flash drive and then they just like plug it here. But macOS 10 actually don't like those flash drives to be installed on PowerPC for some reason. So I don't know, so here it works just fine after I installed it on the flash drive and then plugged here. Yeah, it works. Thank you guys for watching. If you liked this video, please press the like button, subscribe, and there will be more videos. I think this is really nice project, and comparing to how it was before, I don't hear any noise anymore. It's like every time I just plug this old hard drive, I don't know, just like so noisy. But here, I can just like use it every day and it's not gonna be a problem. Very nice.